Hey guys, welcome back for part 2 of our Velcro felt bag that we're making. Easy for beginners. This is for beginners. Very simple. So we finished with quilting our horizontal lines. We've done that. Okay, now the next step I want to do is put on the Velcro. So I think we are just going to do, I don't know if I'm going to thinking. I'm looking for my Velcro. It fell on the floor. Okay, let's get our pieces of Velcro and let's kind of see where you want to put each strip of the Velcro. So with the Velcro, you have two parts. It comes with two parts. You have the one that has these little scratchy bits, and then you have one that's the soft that it clicks onto like that. Okay, so you need one of each. Okay, forgot to tell you that part. All right, so let's decide where we want the Velcro. Well, I want this to really be, I don't know, pretty long. I don't want it to be too long. So let's leave about, let me see how much, guys. Let me see how much. Where's my scissors? Here we go. Let's cut it. Okay, I'm going to measure this out for you and tell you how much mine is. Because this to me looks perfect right there because we're allowing for this bit of seam out here. Okay, so let's see how big that is, how long that is. So let's do, stretch it out, 7 inches. 7 inches of Velcro for if you're using the felt, the same size felt I am. 7 inches. So we're going to use it to cut the other part, put them right on top of each other, and we're going to cut them even. And again, you can measure all this out, do it specific, whatever. I'm just, yeah. By the way, I had to change my bobbin out to black thread. So now I'm using black thread on top and bottom. Using black thread for the machine, and for the needle, and I'm also using black thread for the bobbin. Okay, so let's get ready to get this started. I'm moving you over so we can get it going. Hold on. All right, ready. Okay, let's try to do this. Hopefully easy, but it is going to be thick to sew through. It doesn't matter which side you put what on. Okay, guys? Just as long as you have one on one side and one on the other. I think, going to use some double-sided tape for this to hold the Velcro in place. I just really think that would be helpful with this project. So if you have any double-sided tape, you don't have to have it, but for this project, I suggest you use it if you have some. I'm not going to use a bunch of it. I'm putting it about a half of an inch from the seam, from where the seam's going to be. And I'm just going to use it to help keep my Velcro in place. I just think it would be a good idea. I'm not using, like, as you can see, I just peeled it off. I'm not using, for the complete Velcro, tab just enough to hold the middle in place, because this tape can get tricky, guys. All right, see that? It's taped on. Now I can begin to sew. It just holds it in place enough for you. It's really nice. So we're going to go on the very edge of this Velcro, right on the very edge here, and start stitching. I'm just using a straight stitch. You can use a zigzag. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use straight stitch, and I'm going to hope that my machine holds out on me. and does a good job. However, I don't know. This is awfully thick what we're working through here. So bear with me if we have an issue. We'll sew it on. And it doesn't have to be. I missed a spot back there. Because we might go around it twice. I just want to get the initial. The good part about Velcro is you can do the same thing and turn it. I may have to go back across here. I've missed a spot. But we'll see. You definitely don't want your Velcro loose, guys. Because when they rip the bag open, then the whole thing will come off. So I need to really double check that. Back stitch, needle down. I'm going to go back again. Down. And the reason I'm going back again is I don't think I'm in the right position there. I do like the double-sided tape. It does hold things nicely. And I mean, you know, do what you feel is best for you. I mean, you may not think it's necessary to sew the entire Velcro down. You may want to hot glue the Velcro or something. You can do that. But he said you can't do that. Really entirely up to you. Turn again. And bingo. It's done it again. Hasn't it? Oh. Oh. Yeah. All right. Pull it out. Yeah, I just don't seem to be having any luck with any thread today. So it must not be that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a user error. It might be me. I don't know. I keep having to rethread my needle. Okay, so my Velcro is there. It's on. It would have been nicer if my white thread would have worked, but it didn't. So we'll go with that. It's not horrible. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side with the opposite piece. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this bad part off of here and rethread it again. Yeah, it's like, and it's not coming through the hole up here. It's basically just from the needle, and I don't know. Now this is still cheap thread because it came with the sewing machine when I bought it, but still, it shouldn't be doing this much. So something's not right. I'll figure it out eventually. It may take me some time. Anyway, no biggie. We got it back ready to roll now. All right, more double-sided tape. I'm going to do it about the same. I'm just guesstimating right there. And you, again, can measure it out, do it right the way you want. I like to kind of bend this forward to kind of see where it's going to be. Oh my God. Yep, perfect. And don't worry about this other side having this line because my lace is going to cover that up. Now, if I'd have used white, you probably wouldn't notice it at all. But it looks like I'm going to have to go purchase some more white. The one thing I don't like about this tape, sometimes it's hard to get it open to peel the the top off. As you saw with the last one, it was super easy. And we got it. Took me a minute. There it is. We got it on there. Let's get our other piece of Velcro and line her up. Smoosh it down. It's ready to go. All right, here we go. We're almost there, guys. Not too long. We're almost there. Let's catch that corner and then. I may not have to resew this. This looks like it's staying pretty good. Okay. Well, let's get to rocking and rolling. Here we go. You're gonna be kidding me. Okay, it seems like what's happening is my machine is not liking going backwards right now. Whatever reason that is. Any backstitch, it was not liking it. Seems to give me the problem on the backstitch. Come on, Scott. Um, no. Okay. Made it through the Velcro without having another jam. That makes me very happy. Okay. We have our Velcro on. Look at that. Okay. Next, lace. Okay. I'm thinking I'm only going to do lace here, but I may at the end up doing lace on the sides after I stitch them up. I don't know. The main thing is up his top is where we need to go ahead and add lace if we're going to add it. So I'm going to add lace. You don't have to. Again, this is just me coming up with my own idea, just wanting to make it kind of okay. And as it turns out, this lace is too thick. Oh boy, is it pretty. I don't really want to cut that. Let me see if I've got some other black lace that is not so wide. I need a thinner black lace, and I had some. I just gotta find it. There's black ribbon. Right. Okay, I know I did. I may have to cut that lace. I don't really want to because it's beautiful. I'd rather use it for bloomer pants. But I had some more lace. I'm digging. I'm digging. Well, that's it, guys. Well, shoot. Looks like we're cutting it. All right. So I'm going to cut it. Measure it out to the top. And I'm going to pin it in place to where I want it. Let's see what I'm going to do here where the flowers are in there. So there you have it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pin every bit of it. so that I cut it correctly without messing it up. Because this lace has surprised me how beautiful it is. I mean, it really is beautiful. And soft. It's not scratchy, which I like. All right, so cut your trim, whatever it may be, just so it's flush with the sides, okay? And I really like this. I have to cut the top because even if I roll it over, that's going to interfere with the, it's going to interfere with the Velcro. And I don't want that. So I'd rather it. That's not good. Let's make sure it's flush with the top. I'm just making sure it's flush. One little corner. So it's good to go. All right. Now you could do one of two things. I think I'm going to do a zigzag here, guys. You could do the running stitch. You could do another stitch, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and do a zigzag, and I'm going to do the zigzag, I think, right down the middle of the lace because I don't want it flip-flopping. So we're going to start in the very back. Make sure everything's pulled and nice and stiff. We've got it pinned in place. Now, it is going to leave a mark through here if I do that. I did not consider that. I don't know how that's going to look. So let's rethink this. And that's what it's all about, is kind of learning. Okay, so I didn't hit the Velcro yet, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is stop right there. Instead of going down the center, because you see the other side, I didn't think about it, it's going to go through the Velcro, and that would look stupid. So I'm going to go up top. I'm going to go up to the top here and go down the seam. Best bet. This pin out. I would love for you guys to leave me some pictures of whatever you decided to make. So leave me some pictures. Tell me which one did you like? What fabric did you choose? Fabric or felt? Because you could do the same thing with fabric. I did not do a zigzag. I just didn't want to. It's too much trouble. I may go back and do a zigzag. Let me look at it. I don't think I need it. I think it looks good just the way it is. Because I'm going to trim off the top. So I think it looks good the way it is. Okay, so now I'm going to decide. Let's see. That way, I need lace this way. So we're repeating exactly what we just did on the other side. And pinning it, making sure to only pin one side. The thing with lace is you really do have to pin it. I mean, really. And a lot of times if I don't pin it, that just is because I'm making a video. But you really should pin it. That is some pretty lace. And let me tell you, it's soft as well. It is. So we're going up to the top again. We're going to trim away what we don't need at the end. We don't want to go through the Velcro, so we're going to the very top seam. This is looking fancy schmancy. Okay, that didn't feel good. What? what's happening there. If I get quiet, I'm just concentrating. And I'm glad that it stopped in a minute because it was about to get. What's my pen? Where'd it go? And stitch. Oh, bingo. All right, guys. Let's trim off the excess. Now, at this point, you can go tack it down. But again, for purposes of this video, I'm not doing all that. All right, because we're almost there. All right, I'm going to close it a minute just to kind of see how I want to trim it. Should have really left more of that. It would have been pretty, but it would have caught up in stuff. You know, you might want to leave if the lace, if it had, because it was pretty when it was kind of longer up top, but that's okay. All right, take off the pin. All right, our lace is done. Look at cute. Okay, lace is done. Next step is to I'm deciding how to do the corners. We could turn it inside out and we could do it. So we could take it and do it this way, cut the corners, and then turn it back. That's what I think we're going to do. I want to make it nice. All right, so what I want you to do is turn your bag inside out, which we're not sewed up yet, so that should be easy. So we're not sewed up yet, but just turn your bag inside out like such, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to pin it closed like that, okay? For a minute. Both sides, okay? Just like that. So this is the inside. The good side's inside. The outside. This is the inside. This is the outside. So we're on the liner side. What we're going to do now is go measure out our little square and cut them out. Okay, so let's do that now while you can see me here. And I'm just going to use my little tailor's chalk. Okay. And you don't have to measure this, but I like to. I'm going to use a very small stick, measuring stick. You can use whatever you like. I just want some simple corners on this. So I'm going an inch and a half. Inch and a half again, and making a little line here and a little line here. So you should come out with a square like that. You see it? So I'm doing the same over here. That's right. Inch and a half, inch and a half. Okay. And we're going to cut those little corners out. Okay. Get your scissors. We're going to go snip and snip. See, you're left with that. Same on the other side. Snip and snip. Now, this is if you really want to make some nice corners on it. Okay, we did that. Okay, finish with that. Put your scraps aside. It should look at this point like this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to sew up through these sides. So you're going to sew right here. Remember, the bag's inside out right now. So we're going to sew here, not sewing here. We're going to sew here all the way across, not sewing here. And then we're going to sew here, and that's it. Okay? That's what we're doing right now. We're almost there. Then we'll make our corners, and we'll be done. Okay, so what we want to do is, I'm going to start over here. We want to go almost to the very edge. To the very edge. And leaving about 1/4 of an inch seam. Okay? Sewing the bag together from the inside out. We're going to sew it all the way to about, you're gonna leave a bit of space here. I mean, look, it's making all this noise. It was a box of pins fell off. Oh my goodness. Okay. You're going to leave about, I don't know, it's a little bit of maybe a 1/2 an inch of a slit there. I'm doing that in case, I just don't want to sew it all the way up there. Just in case my Velcro needs something or whatever. Go down the other side, same thing. This needs trimming. And we are going to trim the sides after we do this. So once we make the corners or put the corners together, then we'll trim the sides. Go again, match up all your ends. This is pretty thick on this side. Why is this side thicker? I have no idea. I'm going this way. I'm going to go the other way because for some reason that side is thicker. Don't have any idea why. All right. Stitch. Seriously. There. Okay, so right now, where are we at? We've got both sides stitched up. Okay. Now we're going to stitch down here. Even though it's just rounded, we're going to stitch it anyway. Okay. Actually, don't worry about that. Don't stitch the bottom. You don't have to because we folded it over. Duh. Okay. Yeah, that saves us a step. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're not stitching the bottom. Let's see if it works. It may not. Yeah, we're going to have to stitch it. Go ahead and stitch across the bottom, even though it's still folded. It's not going to fold right if we don't. So let's go ahead and stitch the bottom. As low to the bottom as close to the seam. It's about 1/4 of an inch seam. Most of this is 1/4 of an inch seam all the way around here. It's done. All right. Now we can fold the ends in. The bottom is stitched. Cut your strings, threads, whatever you want to call them, what have you. All right, it's time to match up our. There, much better. All right, so now you're going to pull them apart. So let me show you. We're here, okay? You're going to stick your finger in this corner, right there, both layers, and you're going to pinch them together till they look like that. And we're going to stitch all the way across, just that part, okay? This is tricky because you're going through all these layers of felt. So take your time because obviously you don't want a hole in the bottom of your bag. So just go as slow. And you may have to go over this more than once, by the way. And you may have to help it through your machine as well. So come back out, start up. It's not, it's the way I'm holding it. Try it again. Okay. I recommend you go ahead and cut these little ends off so that it lays flatter like that. Now, if this was a bigger bag, it wouldn't be so hard. Okay, let's try this again. All right. And you're just basically rotating it around. I'm going to show you. So you're basically rotating it around because what you want is little pointy corners like that. See that? So I like to do it twice. So we're going to go over it one more time. On every bag I make, I like to do it twice because there's nothing worse than having a hole in the bottom of your bag. And then what if your lip liner or your coins or whatever gets in there or your whatever gets lost somewhere because you have a hole in the bottom of it. So I don't like when it's a hole in the liner. I go ahead and trim now. Trim, trim. Look how perfect that is. I go ahead and trim them then. All right, let's do the other side. Pull it, both layers, and make it pointy, like a fish mouth, I call it. And then we're going to go ahead and cut these little bits off because with felt, you can't really bend them back. It's just not happening. Have you noticed anything really cool about this? Is we haven't had to iron anything. And that's nice. And you don't really have to iron too much when you're dealing with the fiddle. I think that was very successful. Let's try that again. The first time is always the hardest on here. Getting them to match up and to not be too thick. This is still too thick. But that's going to be better. Let's try that again. And we're going to put right there and we're going to guide her through. Don't you even think about it, you silly goose. It did it again. It's my fault. One thing you've got to notice about your machines is that when you start moving this fabric all around and everything, if you're like me and you get into the project, you're not really watching what your thread's doing down there. And it gets all twisted around and moved around. And next thing you know, it's coming out of the needle. And that's a lot of times what happens to me as well. But I will say that cheap thread does make for some problems, which is why I'm having so many today. I really think 100% cotton thread is better. This polyester is for the birds, but it's economically better, for your wallet. I'm trying to get through that hole, but I can't even see it. And you remember how quickly I did it earlier? And now I can't seem to do it. There we go. We're almost there, guys. We got it. Remember to turn off your machine when you do that. I really should be. I'm being awfully brave today, aren't I? Yeah. But I should have mentioned that. All right. Let's try this again. Let's make a point and try it again. All right. Okay. Down. You know what, you little turkey? I'm going to do one side at a time with you because I can't tell what you're doing. I think my problem is I cut that edge off. See how easy the other side was? This one's not so easy, guys. So I'm going to sew the bits up on the side first. Then I'm going to work my way to the middle. Yep. So I'm going to sew these corners. The hardest part, I think, yeah, see, doesn't want to do this bit. I don't know what to do about it. The only thing I could do is maybe cut that edge a bit. The hardest thing about felt is the thickness. And we might can do something with this. I'm not sure. This is just not. I doubt this is going to work. Just as I suspected. This is a nightmare on Elm Street. Look at this. I don't know what I did wrong on this side. Okay, it's getting there, but it's still not. Thank God this is not the outside of the bag. That's all I got to say. I'm mushing this thing to bits. So the problem is with felt, like I was saying, it gets so thick in some areas, but it just makes such nice liner or such nice bags. Okay, I think I might be able to do something here. Okay, let's see. I might be able to get it, guys. I might. The problem I'm having is the middle bulky part. It's just, I don't understand. Let's go this way. Tweezers. Yeah, mine's just too thick right now. Come on now. Don't do this to me. Come on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's bobbin or if it's what. What is it? Doesn't look like it's the bobbin. This is the problem. You see this little hole? I can't get it. And we can't be having holes. That's not okay. Not okay at all. Okay. We fixed that problem. I think. Got rid of the bad part. Let's try it again. Once we finish this part, we're going to be done, guys. But I'm holding us up as usual. I don't want to sew this by hand. Please, please. Aha. Let's try this. Let's try this. Bingo. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I may have to walk it through. I'm not sure. Y'all, I'm going to have to do this by hand. I don't know any other way to do it. It just is too thick. I don't know why the other corner worked. It was thick as well. I've just got this hole though. All right, let me see if I can somehow make this flat. Okay, we may be on something now. So what I've done now is, I will say this, when I get finished, yours is going to probably look better than mine because of the corner. I've got a messed up corner. I don't know what, I think I cut it too soon or did something, but we're on the last stages. Hopefully we can make it happen. If I can just get this through. I don't know. So I may have to do this by, I just don't know any other way. Let's see if I can get down the other side, and then we're going to leave it at that. I'll have to go back at another time and repair it. I may, in fact, be able. It's too thick too. We got some of it. I just see a teensy hole now. We got most of it. There's just a teensy hole right here. So doesn't do any good if there's a hole though. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. So I'm going to, I think if I mush this together. I mean, I just think it's crazy because I didn't have this problem with the other side. But for some reason, this one's really, really thick and I just can't figure it out. Dang it, I had a good grip on it. I'm so rough on this machine. I mean, the poor thing. You might have it, guys. I'm gonna walk it through. Okay. We may have it. I'm not sure. It's looking hard, hideous, but by golly, we got it. Huh. Jeez, Pete's. Okay, this side is not going to be the right, probably, shape. However, it's not going to be as perfect as the other side, but at least there's no hole. Okay. Guys, I think we might be done. I know it's hard to believe, but I think we might be done. Let's move it over here and turn it inside out. Let's see what we got. Might be done. I'm telling you, I love felt, but it is thick. Okay, open up your bag and flip her inside out. Just like that. And we should have our easy little bitty, oh, this thing is cute. Our easy little bitty Velcro bag. Look at that, guys. Isn't it cute? Now, I will say, I do like it better with the side sewn up. This side, I left it a little bit on the edge. I think you need to sew that up. So when you're making it, when you've got it inside out, in other words, sew these little bits on each side all the way up. But this is so cute. Look at this. And just zip. That's all. It's Velcro close. Open it up and close it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this project. I think this is such a cute project. So this is my little bag that says I'd rather be watching crime shows. I hope you enjoyed this video. Our bottom came out nice too. Look at that. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a very simple project if you're having issues with zippers. It's a fun way to make a bag, again, without having to do too much. And it's quilted. You can see that it's quilted. So, it came out precious. Trim whatever ends you want to trim. You may need to figure out for yourself if there's any issues with it or what you need to do with it. I hope you enjoyed this project, guys. No need to iron it. No need for anything. No zippers. Just simple project. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have fun with me next time here on Rags and Stitches. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye. Happy sewing.